Well, those to-go styrofoam food containers could soon be a thing of the past here in San Diego. Thanks for joining us, everyone, at 6 a.m. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Netta Irampur. Glad to have you with us here this morning. This issue up for vote before City Council, and CBS 8's Chris Groh joining us live now with what we can expect. It's been a long legal battle to even get to this point. What's the latest, Chris?
Yeah, and the City Council actually initially passed this styrofoam ban back in January of 2019, but there's been nearly 4 years of courtroom battles and litigation that prevented it from going into place, and here we are yet again with it in front of the City Council for what will likely be the final time. Now, it does appear that it is likely to pass, and that as for what it's going to do is that the styrofoam that you commonly use from egg containers to take out orders, that will be banned from being sold. Something else it will do is it'll prevent plastic utensils and straws from being sold by restaurants. However, those restaurants that make $500,000 a year or less will actually get a year to put in everything into place. Now, these are bans that have already been have gone into place in places like Encinitas, as well as Imperial Beach and other locations, other cities like Solana Beach, for instance. So this is not something that is going to be something out of the ordinary. This is something that we do see in other places. However, opponents of this say that this is going to be more costly for businesses and restaurants to find other materials. But proponents of this say that this is something that is necessary because styrofoam just it's not biodegradable, and so it only further pollutes our environment when it is thrown out. Now, this meeting will be taking place at 10 a.m. and then of course we have to wait for them to get to this agenda item, but if it does pass, it will go into effect in April of 2023. Eric and Netta.
All right, Chris Groh, with those changes, thank you very much for that update. And now, a child under the age of 5 is the first in the state to die from the dueling respiratory viruses that are currently sweeping the nation. This child had both RSV and the flu. In the last 7 days, 260 more kids have been diagnosed with RSV. That's right here in San Diego. So that's about 20 to 30 new patients a day. Rady Children's Hospital has been at capacity for 3 weeks in a row.
They are absolutely overwhelmed right now, and working long days, but every child gets seen as they need it every day, and it's challenging, but it's manageable.
That was Dr. John Bradley with Rady Children's Hospital reassuring parents it's okay to bring your child to the ER. RSV causes an inflammation in the lungs that constricts the airway. So here is the warning here. If your kid is wheezing or struggling to breathe, doctors say that is the sign to go in, get that medical care. If they're just stuffy but seem comfortable, they do suggest that you can ride it out at home.
Today, former President Trump is expected to announce a third bid for the White House. It comes as his party is grappling with losses by candidates he endorsed in the midterms. Some fellow Republicans had cautioned Trump to wait until after Georgia's Senate runoff in 3 weeks. In a nationally televised interview, former Vice President Mike Pence said he was angered by Trump's tweets aimed at him during the January 6th Capitol attack. Trump's announcement also comes on the same day Pence releases his memoir, which is expected to criticize his former boss. Meantime, Arizona is now a blue state. CBS News projecting Democrat Katie Hobbs will defeat Republican Kari Lake to become Arizona's next governor. Now to the latest numbers from a few of our local races here. In the 49th congressional district race, Democrat Mike Levin still leads Republican challenger Brian Marriott by more than 12,000 votes. John Hemmerling has conceded to Kellyanne Martinez in the sheriff's race. Martinez is leading by over 138,000 votes. And for national city mayor, Ron Morrison leads Jose Rodriguez by just 128 votes, and current mayor Alejandra Sotelo Solis trails by 835 votes.
Well, now this morning, an investigation is underway after police say a father stabbed his son. This happened in Mission Bay Park about 11 o'clock last night, right near the boat launch. Police say the 27-year-old son started punching his 56-year-old father. During the fight, the father took out a knife and stabbed his son. Both were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. And this morning, we know the name of a 17-year-old fatally stabbed at a house party in Chula Vista. You see his picture here. Mateo Alexander was stabbed inside a home on Wrigley Street Friday night. Officers also found 2 other 17-year-olds that had been beaten or stabbed outside the home. They are in stable condition. There's a $1,000 reward now for any information that leads police to an arrest. New details this morning about an 11-hour SWAT standoff in University Heights. Police say 3 people broke into a home on Louisiana Street about 8:30 yesterday morning. Officers arrested 2 of the suspects soon after, but a 3rd person remained inside for hours and was arrested just before 8 last night. This was the same home where 4 people overdosed last week. 2 of them died. Turning now to Choice View, one man is in custody accused of killing his neighbor after an argument over loud noise. Shots were heard about 6 in the morning yesterday near 44th Street. The victim was taken to the hospital where he later died. For a few hours, officers surrounded that home. We brought this to you live during our newscast. They thought the suspect was hiding inside that house. A SWAT team finally entered the home and discovered the man was not there. They tracked him down at another location and they were able to arrest him.
Starting today, you will have to show Mexican immigration officers your travel documents before you enter the U.S. This is happening for the car lanes at the San Ysidro Port of Entry. The goal here for Mexican officers to help speed up the process by filtering out people without valid documents before they arrive to the booths operated by our Border Patrol. This morning, local fast food workers will be joining a statewide strike, and they are demanding that global fast food companies stop their efforts to overturn Assembly Bill 257. It creates a council to oversee working conditions in the state. Local workers are expected to rally outside of the Jack in the Box headquarters here in Kearney Mesa starting at noon. This morning, county leaders are going to be discussing new efforts to prevent, address, and hopefully to end homelessness. The Board of Supervisors will look into purchasing sleeping cabins to use as emergency shelters. The latest homeless count shows there are over 8,400 people experiencing homelessness across the county.
And now this morning, we're getting a look at results from a community poll about the future of Harborside Park in Chula Vista. We've been working for you on this issue. The park has been closed since August after it became overrun with many homeless encampments. There were concerns about crime and drug use, all right next to Harborside Elementary School.
Needles, stuff I don't like.
Now, the majority of people who took the city's survey voted to keep the park closed over concerns that homeless people could return there. Councilman John McCann, who appears to be on his way to becoming the mayor of Chula Vista, says the city may reopen the park's basketball courts. The city council will reconvene December 6th to then discuss those issues. No decision will be made until the new council gets sworn in.
Checking in with Evan on our cool start to this Tuesday.
Yeah, it's 30s and 40s in play as we kick off the day. Another morning of them. It's been about 5 days straight that we've seen those overnight lows cooler than average. Average would be about mid-50s, and we're way cooler than that this morning. We're going to warm up to the 60s, in some cases the low 70s by this afternoon. We've got a lot of sunshine expected as conditions begin to dry out. Tonight into tomorrow, Santa Ana's pick up, and that's going to be the main threat that we're talking about in our forecast moving forward. But very similar conditions today compared to yesterday. We've got clear skies to start off the morning, beautiful sunrise views. Temperatures, though, chilly out there, so don't let it fool you too much. 38 right now in Escondido, 36 in Ramona, 40 in Poway. Along the immediate coastline, we're mostly in the upper 40s. 47 right now in San Diego, 49 up in Carlsbad and Julian right now, along with Mount Laguna at 38 degrees. So where do we go from here? Well, late tonight, we're going to see a high wind warning take effect. This has been upgraded from what was previously a high wind watch. We're going to start to see those gusts really pick up tonight into early tomorrow. That's where they're their gustiest, and then start to kind of drop down into the afternoon and evening hours of your Wednesday. Inland valleys, mountains covered in this high wind warning. We're going to see those wind-prone valley floors and canyons see gusts in the 60-mile-per-hour range. That's the possibility, but otherwise those sustained speeds should stay in the 20 to 30-mile-per-hour range. We're going to be seeing those temperatures warm up in turn because that wind is going to be coming from the east. It's offshore wind, and it will boost our temperatures up just a bit for the next couple days. We cool back down for Friday, and then it looks like Saturday, those Santa Anas could come back into play again, and we'll see drier conditions yet again. Temperatures back in the 70s. So we at least get into the slightly above average range for Wednesday and Thursday, as opposed to the cooler than average range we've been in for the last about week or so, 2 weeks at that. Let's take a look at how traffic is shaping up to kick off your Tuesday. So far, things are quiet on the roads. We're not seeing any major crashes or collisions. I will take you to about the Coronado Bridge area. You see some slightly slower speeds around there. 805 northbound, starting to see some slight impacts as well where it meets the 15. But again, CHP not tracking anything major to kick off the day. So you should be able to head out and be able to get where you need to go with just a few backups there, just getting into Coronado and then northbound on the 805. Ned and Eric, back to you.